So, good evening, everyone, and welcome to our third January webinar. And of course, welcome to those who are joining us for the first time. It's really encouraging to see such continued interest in wildwater canoeing and in the education of coaches and organizers across different levels and countries. For those who don't know me, my name is Alexandra Nováková, and I am Czech canoeist and a coach and a member of ICF Wildwater Technical Committee. Within the ICF Wildwater Canoeing Committee, we see coach education and knowledge sharing as key pillars for the long-term development of our sport. And this January webinar series was created to share the experience from the highest level and to make it accessible to everyone involved in wildwater canoeing. As a short reminder of the format, we have two speakers today, each with around 20 minutes for their presentation, followed by a 10 minutes discussion. You can write your questions or comments in the chat at any time, okay? I will collect those messages and bring them into the discussion, so there is no pressure to speak up. But of course, if there is someone who wants to speak loud, then you are very welcome. So please also, there is a reminder to fill up the form of participation. Manuela just shared it in the group chat. So definitely fill it up. It will allow us to send you the ICF certificate of participation after completing all of our 4 webinars. And today's topic is organizing wildwater canoeing races, challenges and practice. This is a crucial area that directly influences the quality, safety, and the future of our competitions and the sport itself. Our first speaker is Vladi Panato from Italy. You all know Vladi. Vladi is a legendary C1 peddler and one of the most successful athletes in the history of whitewater canoeing. For almost a decade, he has been organizing international level races in Mezzana on the river Noce. His presentation will be delivered together with his mentee, Robert Janizewski from Australia. Robert recently moved to Italy, and now he is working closely with Vladi, supporting the organization of races and training with him and living his best life in the new world of Italy. Our second speaker is Sára Seprenyi from Hungary. Sára is coach, athlete, and race organizer, actively involved in both slalom and whitewater canoeing competition. She will share her perspective on the race organization from multiple roles within our sport. And of course, as a, let's say, kind of newbie in organizing the wild water events. So we are happy to have all of them with us today. And we can start with the first presentation from the Italian side. So Robert and Vladi, take the lead.
Hello, everybody. Ciao, everyone. Rob, help me, for my English is no good, and I have prepared the slide presentation, but you can know that I don't speak the good English. So Rob help me, and he will explain the slide.
Yeah. So good evening, everyone. We're going over events, specifically Mezzana, planning obviously from start to finish a wild water canoeing event. Vladi discussed that it roughly takes around 6 to 8 months from start to finish. So just keep that in mind when going through the. So the first thing is obviously the necessary documents to host the event. So the first one is the authorization from the province. Sorry about the movement in the background, guys. So you got to fill out a risk assessment matrix, or a DVR is what's called in Italy. That essentially includes all the risks, internal and external, from the event. So it also includes like weather, animals. Oh goodness, sorry. And it also has maps with safety locations in it, which will be on a later slide. And then that needs to be authorized from a hydraulic engineer. So an independent engineer needs to review it. And then the final step will be a safety manager, and the lead of rescue has to also authorize this risk assessment matrix. So it has about 3 to 4 people signing off on it to approve the event to go forward. And then they have the agreements with local institutions. So the local municipality, so that would be Mezzana, Comune.
Yes.
The mayor of Mezzana has to sign off on it, and the local municipal administration has to agree to it. And then we have the electricity company for the region, and then also water level management. And this is a very specific one, to the River Noche. It's the local tourism, so the rafting companies. So yeah, they have to be consulted with, and a timetable has to be made, because obviously during the summer, that is their main tourism period. So we need to make available the river so they can still run their business while obviously training and the race goes forward. Um, So yeah, there's another aspect that some people might not realize is every year the river receives a lot of rain, potentially flooding, meaning rocks, trees can get moved. So due to this, works need to be carried out, in certain sections so that any wild water boat can navigate the course and not essentially get broken in half. So this is taken in steps as stated here. So number one, we have to get a permit to actually access the river, and the permit is very specific. It actually states where in the river we'll be doing the works. Then after that's approved, we have to find a local contractor that will actually carry out the works. So someone that's qualified, to obviously move these rocks, move whatever needs to be done. And on top of that, it needs to be discussed with the Sports Fishing Association. So any changes that are made need to be kept in mind of the local ecosystem. So that needs to also get approval from the Sports Fishing Association. So there's a few steps as these works need to carry out every year. I think it usually happens every year.
Yes.
Yeah, every year. So these are pretty important. So safety coordination. So within that risk assessment matrix, there are maps, which will be on the next slide, that have designated points for rescue. So these are obviously established for the race day, and obviously they're in the most difficult part of the river. So they'll have multiple points between the classic course, and then obviously for the sprint day, they'll have their designated areas. The rescue personnel, they must be qualified, so everyone there is up to the safety standard required. So this is that map that I was discussing. So on the left, you can see it's been pointed out each where rescue personnel will be for the classic. So there's obviously another map because the classic's bigger than that. And then on the right, you've got the sprint course that has its designated points also. And this will all be approved again on that risk assessment matrix. Volunteers for the race. So step one, the organisation of a secretary who is responsible for looking after pretty much the total management of volunteers. So they're responsible for the organisation of the ceremonies. So it's obviously the opening ceremony, medal ceremony, and closing ceremony. What to set up at the park next to the spring course, not your park. So stage, food, etc. Also the athlete pack. So many of you know that when you race in Mezzana, we give out athlete packs for everyone. So they need to be organised. And then obviously actually organising the volunteers themselves. So everything's divided up into specific tasks. So every volunteer will have a specific role for the event, and also prior to the event, so it could be planning, organising these medals, booking in the stages, the food vendors, etc. So it's all organised by this secretary, a very important person. So yeah, this is just a map from that risk assessment matrix, again, kind of showcasing what the secretary would have set up for running the event within there at Mezzana. So it would be for this sprint event. So it's all designated: athlete area, TV area, parking, toilets, etc., etc. So it's all thought out. Yep. So then we have obligatory services. English is really good today.
Italian's better.
Yeah. So on site during the event, these must be included. This is a mandatory. This is another aspect that's signed off in the risk assessment matrix. So we have health services, so an ambulance is present for the entire period of the race, and also a doctor. We obviously have our official race judges, official timekeepers, and then for Mezzana we have the TV media services. So they're also mandatory for the event. So they'll be obviously for the sprint event. So yeah, they're required. And this is the budget. So costs estimated for the event. So pretty much broken down. As you can see in the table, we have living costs. So we've got volunteers, judges, ICF members. It's around 3,000, 4,000 euros. Then we have the event, so the actual building, so stage, speakers, hiring of the toilets, TV, media gets their area to set up, and then we have the tents and stands for the judges, and also like the athlete area. That's between 1,500 euros and 2,000. Got the race packs for athletes at 3,000, and then 2 days of work. So that's any work prior to the event being set up.
In the river.
And in also the river. So that's the river work, sorry. So that's 2,000. We've got the rescue team. They're at a hefty 6,000 euros or 1,000 a day. And then health services, ambulance, doctor. So they're at 500 and 200 a day. And then the ceremony, so it's all three ceremonies totaled at 2,000. So our estimated cost for running the Mezzana event is roughly 20,000 euros, give or take. And it can be more. Yeah, more. That's a low budget, so maybe even 25.
When did you bring up?
Yes.
Yeah, 25 is 25,000 is probably a bit closer. Yeah, that's pretty much it. So questions and answers, really.
Thank you so much for the presentation. I think that for a lot of people, it was kind of an eye opener to what everything needs to be done, needs to be secured. And as you said, you start to work like 6-8 months before the event, right?
Yeah, that is correct.
I'm maybe more interested in those 6-8 months before. Is it like because definitely all of those workers, all of those volunteers, this is the big number, but the close group, who is working for those 8 months, how many people consist this like really close group?
Vuoi il ricco?
Sì. Yes.
I 6-8 mesi prima, chi è che
Yes,
lavora?
I and my friends Federico.
2.
Yes, for prepare after during the weeks the event. 9 people for the 9-10 people for the organizing and the another 10 people for the little piccole cose, little
Works.
little what
Small tasks.
And this is actually almost the same question as Sean McIntyre. He's asking how many people do you think it needs to run the World Cup races the week of the races? So basically, this is kind of the answer.
Ho capito
So
questo.
you are
20.
2
Yeah.
in the close group.
Yeah,
And
2 in the
then-
initial stages
Yes.
to get it
And
going.
then Mhm.
The actual
Quante
week.
persone più o meno ci vogliono per
Per organizzare.
un totale
Yeah.
20?
20
20
people. Yeah, for the
20
event.
people because some people come si dice servono?
Save.
Cosa vuol dire?
Servono per allestire.
Help to...
Save. Servono.
Servono.
I said.
Needs.
Mm.
Needs.
The,
One-
10,
one- Mhm.
the 10 people for the prepare to the
Stand.
structure stand and
Mhm.
during the weeks.
Mezzana races. Mezzana the whole week is really specific. For those who don't know, there are usually much more races at the same time than just and only Wildwater, because Vladi is suicidal and he wants to do a lot of stuff. Usually, basically, these past few years, there is not only like a World Cup or European Cup for Wildwater, but also some slalom races, some rafting races, and the extreme canoe slalom races. And I have a question. You, Vladi, you are the boss of all of those races, or like there is like a
No,
headmaster of rafting, headmaster of
No,
the headmaster.
Allora.
I am the boss for the Wildwater, for the organization of rafting and Italian Federation requested to organize the or slalom course or kayak cross for
Italian Championship.
sì, for Italian Championship for have more people during the week to the race.
Okay, so it's not just on you. That's good. That's good. There is kind of an important question as well, again from Sean McIntyre. 25,000 euros is a lot of money. Where are you able to get the money from? Does it come from the local government or federation or other places?
Da dove saltano fuori questi 25.000 euro? Sono tanti. Da dove ti saltano?
For the I have the così contributo.
You get money from
You get money from the
Italian Federation.
no Italian Federation, but the
Local.
governing. I have the project in the govern and with the presentation the come si dice, fattura invoice the govern return one part.
Percentage.
Yeah.
Yeah. So Vladi will like get his invoices and submit them into the governments. So local municipality, province, and then national, and then he'll get a percentage of that paid for. And then others is through, like pretty much the different, like the province, local, and the national. Each part of that invoice can be covered. So not one entity is paying for the whole thing. It's divided up.
Yeah, definitely. And then the participation fee, of course, right? From the athletes. It's helping at least a little bit to cover something.
E anche l'iscrizione ti dà dei soldi.
Yes.
Yes.
And Valdisol, is it like a sponsor for you or not? Valdisol is the municipality of the...
Yes, Valdisole Eventi. Yes, yes.
Super.
Sponsor.
Super. That's right.
Sponsor.
So this is also kind of like an answer for why is it so important if we want to keep the Wildwater races still going on to have a lot of participants, right? More people, more athletes will bring also more money, exactly, and it is more sustainable for the future. And Vladi, you are not only organizing usually this international race, usually in June, but also an Italian championship in Mezzana, right? In July.
Non fai solo la Coppa del
No, in July, yes, the 28th, the Sunday, the 28th, there is the Italian championship.
This year.
This year, yes.
Because many years before you were able to organize two events, like the international, like European Cup or something, and then also the Italian championship.
Yes.
So you were twice there during the year.
In the World Cup rafting.
Yeah.
The same.
And also those rafting companies, Vladi, do you have to pay them or not? It wasn't told.
Compagnie rafting?
No.
No?
No.
Super.
I have only accommodation with the transit in the river.
Okay, that's good. So at least this. So the biggest help would be if someone will pay for the rescue, right?
Much. The rescue is big problem.
And how many people is it for 1,000 euros per day? How many people from the professional rescue?
40, 15.
14-15.
Depende.
That's challenging. Ladies and gentlemen, you have few more seconds to write your questions if there is some. If not, important thing, this year Vladi Panato is again organizing the World Cup in Wildwater Canoeing in Mezzana on the beautiful wild River Noce. It will be definitely an experience. And about to this year calendar, let's have a 10 minutes discussion at the total end of this seminar. And I will ask Manuela Gaven to show you the ICF calendar for this year for Wildwater events. And we can have a 10 minutes discussion just to see and clarify what events we will have. Anyway, if there are no further questions, this was kind of really informative, and it was a lot, and it was basically from the one of the most responsible organizer on a really wild river. So now let's turn a page, and thank you again, Vladi, Robert, and the whole Panato family. Thank you. And let's turn a page for the second presentation, which will come from Sára Seprenyi. She is going to talk about how to approach hosting races as a novice. So, Sára, you
Hi,
take the lead.
everybody. Hi, everybody. I'm Sára Seprenyi from the Hungarian Canoe Federation. It is hard to speak after Vladi. He's such an experienced organizer, but I will try to share some of my experience with the new competition upcoming. If you don't know me, I'm from Hungary. I'm the slalom development coordinator and head coach in Hungary. I also raced flatwater, slalom, and downriver as well. And I started the program at home just in 2024. And basically in 1 year, we tried to build up the basics for the whitewater sports. Now we have a kids course, 82 athletes racing, 7 judges and education programs for them. And the aim is to organize the Whitewater Canoeing World Cup in this year, 5 to 6 of June in Dunajmete, Hungary. This would be the first ever whitewater race in the country, and most of the people don't even know which is the boat. That's why we have struggling with the bulletin for a second. We need to clarify which is slalom boat and which is downriver boat, but it will come soon. I would like to share just some ideas as a first-time organizer. Maybe it can help for others if you want to start with it. It's not that you have to do how I do it, but maybe some ideas, highlighting challenges and solution, what we bump into, and some guidance for future organizers, and then everybody will decide what works for them. Let's talk about why to host the World Cup, why it's important for me and Hungary to organize the World Cup. Firstly, to develop the sport internationally, this is a really good idea. I asked many times the years before to start with downriver, but the answer was always no, because this is not Olympic discipline. But since we have a senior World Cup, of course, they will invest in it. We can buy boats. We can start with the kids program. So this is really helping us to start to paddle in whitewater boat. And I believe this is really good for the kids as well, because this is between slalom and flat water. You can do good endurance trainings for the kids. I learned in the Slovenian traditional training program, so my kids have to do the same. But I really believe that coming from a flat water background, from our athlete side, it is a good chance to get a bit more success in the beginning than going through the hard slalom changes. And yeah, we have a lot of ex-flat water paddlers, somebody who just not good enough to qualify for the Olympics, but can be really good, brave enough to start on the way. So this is a good chance for them. It also creates national visibility for the sport, for downriver, and for the course, that we can put Dunajmete course on the map, build long-term infrastructure, because you will see this is a remote place. Now that we have a bigger event, we can see the needs, and in long term, there will be investments for having the staffs over there. I believe it also can help a bit for the downriver as a sport, reserve the racing. I know there is hard to find organizers. So even if the course is not ideal, the biggest waves like Mezzana or Bratislava, it could be an option to organize here events, and hope so future bigger events in slalom. We need to sell the sports. We need to sell the downriver sports. We need to find a way to entertainment, maybe cover together with the slalom. And this is important in Hungary, especially coming from a flat water background. The World Cup also motivates our athletes to join the whitewater. Without a big event, none of the athletes training for it, as we know it. And because it's easy water, we could have a development athletes, and also good for beginners like my kids. We will have a kids race and masters race included in the World Cup program. So if you have an athletes, join by. Also development athletes, we can help out. I believe this is not so scary river, so everybody could hop in the boat and just join to us. But let's talk about our place, because I believe nobody been there. It's called Dunaramete. It's a small village in north of Hungary, 45 minutes away from Chunovo, about 32 kilometers. This is our baby waves. It's in the national park, so there are a bit of restrictions. It's the first ever slalom course. It was built last year in May, and we already had a international slalom race organized together with the Slovaks for slalom. This is our widest river, so very funny, but hope we can improve it. This is Wildwater 1-2, but we will have the construction in this November, December. Hopefully we will be finishing 2027 January. It's already set it in. We won an Interact project, so we got some money to improve the course, more like a bit of Solkan-like. It will come, but not before the World Cup. So please be patient with us. We try to change everything in 1-2 years. So it's a big challenge for us, but hopefully this will help to improve the whole area. The river is controlled by them, so it's a bit easier for us with the floods. Donau is just on the other side, so the main river is a bit further out, and this is a channel which is supplying water to the island areas. I already asked the governments to give us the 100 cubics for every official training day and for the competition, and they keep this, so pretty good chance that we can organize the race and without any problems. But it is a remote location. Our budget will be slightly bigger because we have to bring here everything. I'm expecting 27,000 for the organization, and I will talk about it a little bit later on. The classic race will be from Kisbodak. It's 4.66 kilometer. We will have 3 mini drops in between, and the sprint course will be 200 meter on the slalom course, start on the flat water and then going down, finishing on the waves. Let's see what challenges and risk what we have for now. Firstly, of course, we have lack of experience to organize the Whitewater World Cup. We were late to applicate. We were just talking about in České Budějovice, so the time was quite short. And my favorite is the Hungarian attitudes. It's always not possible, but we will work on that. We need to change the people way of thinking about whitewater slalom, and that we can organize these competitions as well as in Hungary without mountains. We have a lack of judges, equipment, staffs, and safety, who always qualified for the race. It is a remote location, as I mentioned before. It's a national park, so we need permissions. Funding is always a good question, since it's a non-sport and non-Olympic discipline. It's always a challenge. Not many experts for organizers in Hungary. Enough participation is the key for the big events. If you want to have successful, of course, you need a lot of athletes and a lot of nations. Let's find some solutions which worked for me. That we never organized the downriver race, but we have organized many flat water races, World Cups, World Championships. So we have a team from there, and we already organized some slalom races. So our background will try to put together our heads and find the solution. And of course, we will look the example of the previous organizer. It is good to see. I have been in many races, and there is different solutions, different ideas, and we can already pick many things, many ideas from the previous races. This is also really helpful, so don't have to find a completely new solution, but make it easy in the beginning. What is amazing, the Whitewater family, what we have, I already got also many offers for help, and I really appreciate it. The Bosnians, the Slovenians, Slovakians already offered their help to come by earlier to oversee my work, to bring boat control, what equipment we don't have, if we need any contacts. So this is really amazing and helpful as a first-time organizer. So really thank you for it. Also, We will make a selection race, like a pre-race, in April 25. It will be for like kind of testing our knowledge, testing our systems, and we will hope to figure it out what's not working over there. Usually something's always missing, perhaps the aggregator, the electricity. Somehow it's never working on the day when we need it, but now we already know where to get another one. So hopefully for the big event, it will running smoothly. Since we applied quite late and we need to do everything ASAP, I was already started thinking and collecting the datas after the World Championships, even if we didn't know the answers yet. But it is not one day, as Vladi said it. It takes 6-8 months to organize everything. And as a first organizer, definitely you need every time to prepare, because permissions and governments and these talks and sponsors are not one day to find. The Hungarian attitude, really, I love it. I think we don't believe it that it is possible in Hungary to have white water, and usually the answer is always no. But as we see it with the slalom course, you just need to do it, and after that they will come around and they will believe it. It's hard to fight with the flat water background people, but I'm hoping that we will open our eyes and it can work out. For funding, it's a bigger questions. I believe marketing is really important. We need to introduce the sport to the public, put it in the media, put it in the TV, in the news. If they talk about it, it's easier to find sponsors. I already invited some sport leaders and companies to the race, and also to try rafting. We will put some people in the boat, and we'll try to find the sponsors. What is important, or what is working in a flat water based country? I believe we can use a lot of flat water sponsors to help with us, who already supported many big events in flat water. Usually they are ex-paddlers who were racing hard, just not make it out to the Olympics. As my kids coach always said to me, that out of a big flat water group, one will be an Olympic champion, but the others will push him over there, and they will be leaders. They will be working in companies who can sponsoring the sport, and they like to invest in this way and give back to the community. So it can really work out in Hungary. Of course, it's different for every countries, but also there are some local companies who can benefit from visibility. For sure, they love to be in the World Cup, and since in TV, they would enjoy to see their names around there. And connections is really important. I find it easier to talk to people when you know somebody who knows somebody. If you just write an email, they usually never answer. So if you have some connection, the doors are open much easier, at least how it's worked for me. We also applied for government support, so the Ministry of Sport will help us. But if you don't have this solution, it can be an idea to apply for EU funding. There are many good funds for organizing competition. Of course, you need to work the extra miles to have the volunteers to make some extra event in the racing program, but it can work out for if you don't have enough budget. Since it's not Olympic discipline, we have to connect it with slalom. Of course, our people like the Olympic sports, so we will try to sell it together. And of course, definitely, I believe this is a good way to do it. And we, of course, making two versions, one simple and one advanced. The advanced, the fancy one, when we get all the sponsors and we get all the budgets, then we can go bigger. But we also have a simple plan when, like a plan B, if not working out. I think it's wiser to do so. Let's see another problems and solutions. Lack of judging equipment and stuffs was a bit of a head scratch for me. We asked, of course, the Wildwater family to help to get some connections. We will borrow equipment, perhaps the boat control equipment from Bosnians, And then we will have judges course from Slovenia on the pre-race. We already worked together on the slalom judges course, teaching course before. But when I mentioned that I want downriver as well, everybody was against because we didn't have a big event. So now it's coming back. We will have another course with the Slovenian judges. And then hopefully we can organize our selection in a good term, maybe with a bit of help. And then hopefully in the future, we will have our IQs as well who can work in the sport. And we will, of course, invite many, many people for the home race. We will invite home some Hungarian craft guides from Slovenia and Austria. And for the big event, we already had a deal with the Croatian rescue team. I think they are more professional and they already do the tiger jump, so Hungary will be easy for them. I believe so, and they can come by and help us to cover the drops. And it's important for me because I'm working with many, many kids, with beginners, so I would sleeping much better if we have the rescue team over there also on the official trainings. It costs a bit more, but I rather pay on this. We will have staffs, volunteers, parents, kids who is inviting, maybe helping for us, but definitely we will have the basic stuffs and our management team. I will be the host organizer since nobody else know much about the race, but I will invite some experts to the race who can come by earlier and see if I missed something. I think more eyes is better, especially for the first time, and have a plan B. As I said before, something can go wrong and we'll go from there. Because it's a remote location, we need to bring everything there, tents, containers, aggregator, everything. This is a huge cost, but I'm hoping that it's pointing out our needs, that in the future races, we will need their house, we will need their electricity and so on. For now, we will move there everything, and it's a bit of extra miles what we're doing, building everything on the site. In case of success, we can apply for the infrastructure. It's easier to have the government support or either some EU fundings when you already organize the competition. For the national park, we need permission 30 days prior the race, but we already doing this now in January. I already had the first round, and it's helping if you have some connection in the higher place to a bit pressure them, because usually the national park don't like if we have many people there, especially if you have an after party. We will probably move it in the town that we're not bothering the birds, but maybe we can still have it at the course as well. So please stay for the after party because we will have goulash and some good music and enjoying, so we can have a good time before you move to Bratislava. And of course, as I said before, we will have a development program. If somebody needs help, just contact me. I believe this is a good calendar for this season because just the World Championship 2 weeks after Hungary and the week after Bratislava. So I'm hoping we can keep as many athletes as possible over here. And of course, we really need many countries to start on the first race so that we can have a future competition. And the future visions for us, in case of success, we can hopefully make regular international races, also slalom, maybe some kids race, and building the basics of the sport in Hungary. As I mentioned, we will have the construction of the course, so hopefully it will be a bit more wider the years after and a bit more enjoyable, and we can make a development hub for the region. We already talked with the Slovak Federation that we will have some kids races, kids camps here in Dunarameta because it fits better for the younger age than starting in Bratislava directly. And I'm hoping maybe another Slovenians and Austrians want to join us as they did last year in slalom. I think cooperation is really benefiting for everybody. And basically, this is it, just some keynotes. For future organizers, start simple, and just work it out from there. Have a plan B, because something will always go wrong. Build step by step, and then respect timelines. Try to do everything earlier than the race, and because everything will be coming up together for the race, and learn from the event. So every event is a challenge, but the next years, hopefully you have more experience and get help, because the Wildwater family is amazing, really. Guys, it's really helping for me, and you don't need to be perfect. Just start, just risk it. I'm really encouraging everybody to organize an event, and then you can have a benefit of it as well. You must be realistic, transparent, and committed for the work. And thank you for the attention. If you have any question, just let me know.
Sára, it was amazing, really.
Thank you.
And especially since you were realistic from the total beginning, and you said that you said the fact that our sport is kind of struggling with the event organizers, and that's true. And I think that your presentation can really it was so humble. I think that really it can kind of like push someone who is just like thinking, okay, maybe in my country it is possible. Start small, okay, maybe I'm just too afraid because of something. Not at all. And the thing is why we were bringing this topic to the coaches seminars. I think that coach needs to have the knowledge that without the kids and without the organizers and without the events, there is no job for him or her. Okay, so thank you again so much for your presentation. I have a kind of like a sensitive question. If it will, like in the worst case possible, if the World Cup that you are organizing this year will be a complete fuck up, like with, for example, not much of our participation, bad weather, not any of volunteers, everything, like results are wrong or something like this, like really big fuck up, and your federation will know about it. What do you think? Like, they will, are they able to tell you, for example, that okay, Sára, you tried, never do it again, stop, finito. Wildwater races in Hungary, no. Do you think that this is possible?
Yes. Yeah, I will be executed. For sure, I will take the whole race. So this is a lot on me because I push these projects. They also told me I have to be responsible for everything. That's why I want to do it perfectly. Of course, it can happen, bad weather, not participation. So it's a risk for me and for my job as well. But yeah, I believe need to prepare it nicely and really make the extra work for it to come more athletes over to Hungary. And then we'll see. I believe it's a whitewater sport, you know, if you not risk it, you can't win everything. And that's the way how I'm thinking. I risk always more than reserve.
There is one comment, or let's say question for Sára and also Vladi. Do you have any lists or worksheets for planning that you can publish on here? So basically like a planning list, what is necessary, what like a timeline maybe also.
I can make one. I don't prepared something on Excel. I have it on my notes, and we have a work group. I'm organizing mainly alone, but I have 4 people from Flatwater Race Organization who I just need the detail. We need this booking, we need these documents, and they're helping with me. So we have weekly planning or weekly meeting with them, and I can make some sheet out of it, but I didn't prepare yet anything.
But maybe this is a really good idea, just from like us organizers, the past organizers or the future organizers, to literally share with the public the timelines and the planning, definitely. So
sorry, for me, it was also helping the connections. I need to call around a few people, but I think it could be also good to include some companies who you work like Timing Moistrana for me, the company of TV broadcast, and this list, the rescue team from Croatia and so on. If you don't have anything at home, where to find this connection, where to find these numbers and who to connect, I think it can be also helpful.
That's true. But it has to be like a local thing, right? Almost local thing.
Neighborhood, yeah.
Neighborhood, yes. So thank you, Will Creek, for the comment. And I think that we, as a Wildwater Technical Committee, we can really think about it, and we can kind of ask the past organizers about their timelines and about their planning. And definitely, it can be something that we can share with you all. Question from Sean McIntyre: Are the national park people helpful to you or making things harder?
They're really making things harder. They like their beavers, their otters, and hugging the trees. Also for the course construction, it would be already done, but we need 1 year to spend on the environmental studies. So we need to count all the fishes, which is in springtime, in wintertime. So they're making things harder for me, definitely. Also for the permission, but if we push them a little bit higher from the sports ministry, they can be working together.
I have one more question, because at the beginning of your presentation, you also said that organizing a Wildwater event, you believe that it can develop the Wildwater sport in your country. Here we have a lot of future or current coaches who are from the development countries. So this is maybe also do you think that it can really work, that after you will organize this World Cup and maybe some also national races like the pre-race, it will be benefiting in Hungary?
Yes, definitely. I believe you need to aim way bigger, not just for coaching, not just make a small group, because people won't be interested. You need governmental support to fund the sport. You need to aim really high up, that you will start with it. Because of the event, we will have the boats, because the event, the kids will paddling in the boat. So if something's starting up, you have 20, 30 athletes tried for the selection. It's more chance that some of them will stay in the sport and they will keep racing, and they will go on bigger and bigger events and bigger races, so they can maybe go for the World Championships in the next year or some harder stuffs. I think really you need attention for a sport to start. It was also same with the slalom. Until the course wasn't done, until we didn't organize international race, they just play at home, do your own stuff. They're not really interested. But since it's a World Cup, already the federation is working with it. It was in TV, in media, the Olympic Committee called to interested. So I think you need to go big or go home.
Right. Strong words, but yes, that's completely true. Okay, if anyone else have another question, do not hesitate, since we have Sára, the novice but very courageous organizer over here with us. Anyway, if there are no more questions, Sára, good luck.
Thank you.
And I think that you are the most humble person in between all of us organizers, and I hope that everything will be good for you this season. And definitely, as you said, the Wildwater family will help you, really.
Thank you.
We will bring a lot of athletes, we promised.
Thank you.
Thank you for your presentation. Good luck also with your kids, like those who are coaching, and see you very soon in Hungary. Perfect. And now I may let Manuela speak about the calendar of this season.
Thanks, Sasha. So first of all, I really would like to thank Sarah, Vladi, Rob, and Cecilia in the background for her really passionate enthusiasm in organizing races. Not only those guys, we have plenty of organizers in place who are helping us to survive our sport and that we can really go forward in whitewater canoeing. And as you heard about, and as you can see, the whitewater family is a really, really big family all over the world. And I think in the name of all of us who are here at the webinars, we need to thank Sasha for raising this webinars, which is really, really fruitful for our discipline. Thanks, Sasha. So anyway, quickly, maybe to answer also the questions about the tools for maybe potential new organizers, I would like to share and show you the ICF web page. I hope you can see the page, okay? If you are going to the ICF webpage, you can scroll down to the bottom and you can see some helpful tools for the event organizers. If you go there to operational requirements, you can find the whitewater technical deliverables. And this is a really helpful tool for the organizers to see what are the requirements, what are the needs to organize a race. And you can also find some timelines about bidding procedures and so on, which is also important to deal with the ICF. You can have a look, and if you have any questions on that, you can easily send a message, drop it to the Whitewater Canoeing Committee, and we all will help you about that. That's just one thing for you. And if you go now to the discipline section, Whitewater Canoeing, you can find a second menu under the point menu events, competition information. You can find our 26 calendar. Here you can find all the international events for this year, the level of the events, and as soon as all the bulletins or information are in place, you can download them here. You can find the race of Vladi, the World Cup race, which will be held end of June, or the race from Sára in Hungary, and also some ECA Cup events, the World Championships, and so on. So please go on that page from time to time. We will publish all the important information as soon as they are ready, and you can download them there, and you can find all the information you need for your race preparation. We will also publish everything in our WhatsApp groups and our social media and so on. But I think it's more your duties also as a coach to be informed about the races, and this is the place where you can find everything. We have another really important tool for you in place. If you click on that button here, there will be a slide open, an Excel sheet, where you can find more races, more international races. So Sasha is collecting all races over the world, all whitewater competitions, which are open for international participations. So it's not only our level 1 to 3 events. So there are really open international races, and you can find venue maps and the contact details already. So you as a coach, you can take the opportunity and the chance to take part in other races in other countries. So, and now I really would like to open the floor for some discussions, or if anyone has some questions on the events of this year or maybe next year, please feel free. You can write it in the chat, or you can just speak, talk, whatever you want. Maybe one other important thing for the future, we are still looking for more organizers for more races. So for the next year's upcoming season from 27 to, let's say, 29 or 2030, we still have open places for international events. So if you have any ideas, any proposals, please feel free to contact the Whitewater Committee. The floor is now yours. we are here listening you, and you can raise your questions. Seems there are no questions. Fantastic.
Maybe I have just one more input, since Manuela shared again the calendar of the smaller races. I still don't have. I'm still missing the Belgium races. So if Clemens is over here, maybe if you have some kind of a list of Belgium races, it will be really helpful, and I will definitely put it there. And also, if it will be useful, because those races are mostly on the European continent, okay? But if there are here some participants from United States, from Canada, from Australia, who is staying in Australia and not in Italy, definitely share with me your calendars as well, and New Zealand as well, because we know that you have also your nations too. Sudan too. Oh yeah, of course. If you have over there some events, share it with us, and we will put it into the calendar. And from this year, there is one more thing. Me and Julia, we are Julia Formenton from Italy. There is she's another member of our technical committee. We are working on also gathering those training camps. So not just events like competitions, but also training camps. So we in this spreadsheet, you can find the second list, training camps. And in those training camps, there are already some organized by Jesco Klamer. Oh yeah. Thank you, Manuel. By Jesco Klamer. They are the German team, or let's say the German club from München. They are going to Omiš, to Croatia, for some preparation. They are already calling also the rest if they want to join them. Also, another event is again from Jesco Klamer. They are going to Great Britain to try out the rivers on this island. So definitely, if there is someone who is organizing, like, let's say, open training camp that someone wants to join, again, send it to me. To perfection.
And maybe one small additional information. So we are using quite often our WhatsApp community. So today I have raised there a new survey where we ask for participation at the World Cup events. There will be soon a similar survey where we ask about participation at the World Championship, which will help us to give some figures to the organizers and to prepare a proper schedule that you can prepare yourself. So, and as soon as we have done that, you can find everything also on the ICF webpage. And yes, I will share the link for the WhatsApp community. I will put it also on the ICF web page under the section where you can find the recording of these webinars as well. So I will place there the QR code that you can enter yourself in the community if you are not already in. Okay.
And I think if there are no more questions, no discussions about this year events, so it seems that everyone is super ready, super prepared to go around Europe for the World Championship, World Cups, and also European Championship in Scotland for juniors and under 23. So this was the third Wednesday, I'm sorry, of January webinars for coaches. Next week there will be the last one. Our two speakers will be Jamie Christie and Jules Millienis from France. Jamie Christie from Great Britain and Jules from France. And we will be again back in our main coaches topic, the preparation of young athletes. Okay, and also the responsibilities of us as coaches, what to do with those young souls that are trusting you 100%. So next week will be the last week, and I will be super happy to see you all there. And thank you for today's participation. And thank you again, Sára. Thank you again, Vladi, Robert, Cecilia. Thank you, guys. Thank you, Manuela, for sharing those important information. So, good night. Have a nice rest of the week. Bye-bye.
Bye
Thank you.
bye.
Bye.